So what are we doing today? People keep asking me how I write my music, what I use, what software, etc. So we're gonna go through that today. So we have a full-blown recording control room with a 32 channel Behringer board, that white doorway at the end there. But for my purpose, this is close to my office right here. My office is right there. So I'm set up in a way where it's easy for me just to run in the room and throw down a track or two, and then just bring it here, and I feel blessed and privileged to have that opportunity to do so. All right, so sometimes you have this hook in your head and you want to get it down. So what do? I have this voice recorder thing. Just record that. Like I have this hook. I got to stop the car, got to stop the car and, get this hook out. Press record. Boom, boo-doop, boo-doop, boop, boo, 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 doo-doop, boo, doo-doop, boo, boo, right? So you do something like that. So now you have that, you save that, and press record. You have your idea right on your phone. Alright, so you get the idea. Now you have that hook. So now I'll open up this other app that I use to start creating your sequences and arranging your song. It's called Caustic. I don't know if you can see it from there, but Caustic. All right, so now here it's a little audio creator tool where you could actually write music. So I would open up with let's say just a simple bass track, and then I'll go to my pattern mode and start creating patterns. And so here's your click. So that's a little bit too fast, so I'll tone it down. What's the tempo? Okay, so you get the idea. So I'll bring that down to 85. I'll start writing out that pattern that I hummed. Okay, so that's pattern 1, right? Now pattern 2 would be I'll continue building, and that's the intro part, and then you have your verse section, and then your chorus and your bridge and whatever you want to put in your song. Once you have at least a rhythm track, bass or guitar or keyboard or the melody of your song, you keep building that up, and then you go and add like a metronome or a cowbell or a click. So when you go record your drums, you have that click track. Or what I'd like to do is actually just add a percussion track, because click is a little boring. So at least percussion, there's more rhythm involved, so it makes you pull out your creativity in your playing. So it kind of help you flow your tune together. One thing people always forget to do is put a count off at the beginning of your track. So I will create another pattern. Let's say pattern A2, and just put a click track, like a 4-beat click track, and I will add that to. That's why I left space there, so you can add it to the beginning of your track. So when you start it off, you have your click to start. All right, so just for exercise purpose, I created a 28 bar, and I will render that. I'll go here, export, test, song. All right, and now I'll export that bass track and percussion track, and I'll bring it into my my system in room 1. Yeah, at times I use different DAWs. I have Cubase, but I always go back to this DAW because it's a video and audio editor, and I do a lot of videos. So it's my one go-to software that has everything that I need. And yeah, different DAWs do different things. They have more bells and whistles, but for my purpose and my style of music, I like to keep it raw, like to keep it straightforward, simple. All right, so now we got the core structure of the song and the drums recorded. So that is your core of your song. Once you get that down, then you could add all the bells and whistles you want later on. The guitar tracks, little keyboard tracks, percussion, vocals, what have you. You just keep adding tracks below this. So once you get the core, which is the most important part, then you're off to the races. You could really work it. Okay, now the core is done. I'm going to start adding guitars. All right, so we all got that down, yeah. And what I do for the drum tracks here, all I do is add a graphic equalizer, and pretty much I just put the highs where I think is the right setting. That sounds good. Not too much, not too little. Just add a little bit of highs to give it that brightness. And the same for all the other drum tracks. A little bit of highs, and I'll add a tad of reverb. And that is all I use for my drums. I don't like compressors. I think they choke the song. And again, it depends on what style of music you're doing. Sometimes you might need one, but I like to keep my music as raw and fresh sounding as possible and punchy. So I don't use compressors. I don't like them. All right, so instead of using compressors, this is what I like to do. I like to manually add, let's say this track, this little piece right here. I would insert an audio envelope volume bar, see the blue line right across the middle of the track. And if I see any peaks, like really high peaks, like let's say here, I'd put a dot, a little point, and bring that volume down, just like so. Yeah, so this way it just sounds more natural, more raw, and so it's a little more tedious, but it sounds more authentic, and that's what I like. So after I record all the tracks, I'll spend hours and some time mixing it properly, make sure the levels are right, make sure all the effects and all the reverbs that I use and EQs are well balanced. And then I'll listen to it on many platforms. I'll listen to it on my computer system, I'll listen to it in the studio with a big system, make sure it sounds punchy, and listen to it with headphones. And also listen to it in your car, and listen to it just straight off your phone. It has to sound good on every device. And once that is accomplished, then it's a wrap. So simple tools, find good mics to record with, good signaling, play your parts right, find the right sounds for your songs, and it's all in mixing after that. Alright, now the beauty is when you have the structure of your song, now you can just go in and plug in little parts anywhere you want. So there's a little section where I transition and I think it has to be a little thicker, so I'm going to throw a little guitar riff in there.